Messi. Neymar gets his hat-trick this time. Oh my goodness. Lewandowski! Unbelievable!
Hi, welcome back to Football Cave. Today we are going to discuss about the potential dark horse of the EPL 2021. First of all, dark horse is less famous team that emerges unexpectedly in a competition that looks less likely to win in a paper yet they do. In our opinion, the dark horse of the EPL season will be none other than Leeds United. We considered Leeds to be the dark horses due to the following reason. Leeds are a historical side who even went to the final of European Championship, but sadly they were relegated 16 years ago.
There is the final whistle. It's a rather forlorn-looking Ellen Road that will trudge home in the rain.
They always wanted promotion but they couldn't. They had hit the rock bottom but now they are back, they are hungry than ever. Simply, they can hurt you and tear you apart from the way they play. Born in July 21, 1955 in Rosario, Argentina, is one of the most influential football coaches influencing Pep Guardiola, Mauricio Pochettino, Diego Simeone and many others. He is one of the best football managers in the history of football who hasn't won trophies in Europe yet. He is even considered as the best manager by Pep in the modern era. He introduced a third wave ideology in Argentine coaching. It's not the philosophy which made him famous, but the love of the game which made him popular and is even called as El Loco, the madman. Why wouldn't one call him madman when he spent 2 hours for exercise and 13 hours watching football during damn Christmas night? He is not attracted by neither money nor comfort. He is only attracted by one thing, romance, which other coaches would call a challenge for which he could do anything. He even made his Leeds player clean the stadium to let them know how much fans struggle to see the match. Oops, talking about the fan, I forgot. He loves his fan very much, so does his fan. He even gives lollipop to the young fan and hugs and take pictures with them. After taking over Leeds, who were a mid-table team in Leeds, he took them to top half and now even promoted them to EPL after 16 years. Devoting so much to Leeds, the Leeds fan even made a chant. Let's listen it first.
From Argentina to West Yorkshire comes the man too, and our years of torture. From the darkness we're rising to our feet. Well, Leeds United, England to lead. MARCELO, El Loco of the league. Here we go, with your bucket as your throne. You're the king of Ellen Road.
They play a mouth-watering attacking football under Bielsa. Generally, they play a flexible 3-3-1-3 system where there are 3 defenders, 1 defensive mid, 2 midfielders, 1 enhanced and 3 forwards, among which 2 are wide forwards. They play with a firm emphasis on fluidity. His players are tasked with switching positions with teammates seamlessly, using their mobility to outrun and overload opponents in key areas. His trademark 3-3-1-3 can easily morph into a 5-4-1 with wingbacks and wide forwards tucking into shape without the ball. To further explain their playing style, we have decided to break down in the following parts. Their 2 wingbacks, generally Dallas and Douglas, stay wide in possession and carrying the ball into the central areas and helping midfield. They are athletic, strong all-rounders, making runs to support attacking phases while ensuring they are not caught in possession or out of position. They act as important auxiliary midfielders when the side are on the ball and are fundamental to the success or failure of his system. They cover vast distances on the pitch, supporting on attacking phases while tracking back into the position and strengthening their defensive line. After recovering the ball, they build possession from behind through a series of short passes. Offensively, they are expected to work in the hardest in the system, closing down space down the channels and disjoining the central defensive trio to form a bank of 5 at the back out of position. Phillips would also sit in front of bank of 5 providing added protection while the 5 farthest player try and narrow the pitch and win possession back at speed. Bielsa will always ask his side to press their opponents heavily, but his game plans also involve man marking opponents extremely tightly, so much so that their clear formations become blurred, and an obsession with winning individual battles in every position becomes more important. His Leeds players must adapt fast to marking their targets out of the game. Depending on the opposition, Bielsa and his coaching staff will instruct each player on their tight man marking or zonal marking duties. One downside to Bielsa's system sees it sometimes encounter problems in deeper position, where man marking leaves sizable gap at the back or exposed down one flank. Most probable, Dallas or Douglas will cut and sometimes they will be punished. To minimize this problem, they have some good defenders.
Quality centre backs. This high-risk strategy requires ball-playing centre-half, that is White and Davies, comfortable with bringing the ball forward and distributing it carefully. One of Bielsa's defensive ideals is to always have one more spare defender, which is Cooper, than that opposition front line. His side regularly switches between a back three, White, Cooper, Davies against 2 forwards, and a back 4 line against a lone striker. Unique vertical and compact football. El Loco is well known for his preference of playing vertical football, which is essentially shifting the ball at pace from backline to the final third as quickly and effortlessly as possible, without having to resort playing long balls. Bielsa believes in the value of retaining possession, with there being an ideal distance of no more than 25 meters between the centre forward and centre back. Catching opponents off guard and punishing opponents with pace and precision are integral to his plans. Bielsa's side works extremely hard on their shape, which controls, contracts and moves to outsmart the opposition. The master tactician is no stranger to having utilized midfield players in his defense. As we can see, Phillips covering wingback most of the time. Having great season, no wonder why he was called on international duty. Hernandez and Phillips are faster and more effective at commencing counter-attacks. Midfield are always marshaled by Phillips, who aids the defensive line, and Hernandez binds the holding midfielder with the ignorance. Fluidity and attacking mentality. His side had a working malleable model that effectively protects the defense from opposition counterattacks. This is where intelligent positioning comes into play, anticipating where the ball will be played and potentially lost before such moves are made. Fast transition from the back to the front are extremely worked on and is tracking back and morphing into a defensive shield when possession is lost. Bielsa's 3-3-1-3 requires a deep-lying playmaker or number 5 to sit and protect the defensive line. This role is a huge responsibility, held by a player of technical quality, terrific distribution and ball-winning capabilities. This is the role Phillips made his own last season. The front three will try harder to go into wide space or cut inside depending in situation. Bamford play at central forward most of the time, but as false 9, giving Costa and Harrison wide space to run. 2 of wide forward track back, giving wingback running space to set up ball for Bamford. This makes opponent difficult to defend. So these were the reasons why we consider Leeds as dark horse in Premier League next season.